Oh, ho. Righty then. Ooh. Hell yes. I like it. Let's turn that down a little bit, though. Hell yes. Welcome back. I am Booze TV. Welcome back to part 2 of our live Boat Murdered reading. Live reading, I guess, and this special edition, Boat Murdered. I suppose we'll do more readings. We got a lot of good feedback from the last one, so there shall be more to look forward to in the future, and I hope you will enjoy. Looks like I just post a link to the stream in a place, and yes, let's get right into it. Let's get some fantasy music though, because this is pretty sweet, but it is not exactly what we are looking for. Alright, there we are. Boat Murdered. We left off with Stark Raving Mad. We did finish it. We got right to the bottom, and we were talking about how they should reset it because he lost so many people, but I don't think they did. We are now into part 20 by Bremen. Alright, let's get some fantasy music to set the mood. Get that nice music going. How about the old Kevin MacLeod? There we go. Spicy. I like it. If it's too loud or too quiet, let me know. Oh, wait. Oops. Shite. We want the Boat Murdered one, not that one. Hold on, let's not use YouTube. Hey, Shen! How is Wisconsin? Wisconsin? It's pretty good. I'm actually going south, though, soon. Heading on a road trip, so that's why I'm doing this today. Will not be streaming for a week because I'm going on a trip with my wife, Aika, heading south down through Illinois, stopping in Springfield, Illinois for a night, and then heading down to Tennessee, and then who knows? The sky's the limit, as they say. Alright, let us begin part 20 by Bremen. This guy sounds sneaky. So let's give him a sneaky voice. This morning I found the mangled body of a fellow dwarf in the hills outside the capital, surrounded by elephant tracks. I didn't think he'd be complaining, so I emptied out his pockets. I knew it was going to be a lucky day for me this morning, before the guards found me sleeping in the back of the warehouse and kicked me out. Not only this guy loaded, he had a piece of paper directing him to take charge in one of the colonies, someplace named Boats Murdered. Whoever named that must have a weird sense of humor. Well, I figured the place had never seen the guy's face, so I took the paper, and the money of course, and started following the directions on the piece of paper. That's a kind of a redundant statement there. I finally found the place. The directions led me through a hidden passage that looked strangely like an escape tunnel. It wasn't until I got inside and tried to figure out who was in charge that I found out why. It seems that this place is under siege by a combined force of goblins and elephants, and the last ruler dug the tunnel to escape. It sounded like a good idea to me, but when I tried to open the door to the escape tunnel, the whole thing collapsed. Guess I'm in it for the duration. Alright, I'm just going to make sure this window is right so I can see it. Yes, Shen, we are south, to the great out south. If there's anybody in that path who wants me to, like, autograph their face or something, let me know. I would happily do a face autograph. Alright, how's that showing up now? Is that on the screen? Good, not blocking anything. Good. Everything's in chaos here. No one can go outside because of the elephants and goblins. The dwarves kept acting like I should know what to do, so I told them to dig some fortifications so we could shoot outside from. The other dwarves informed me, to my surprise, that the goblins had bows too. It was a frightening concept and made me long for the escape tunnel. But I had already noticed the other dwarves' skeptical looks at me, so I ordered them to do it anyway, and said it would all work out. I assume this is going to be
the fortifications. So they're probably going to dig out here, put some fortifications in. Now, fortifications are interesting because you can't get over them, but they can be shot through if something is adjacent to them. But you can't shoot in if you're far enough away from them. I believe that's how it works. So they could theoretically carve in some fortifications, and if there were archer dwarves here, they could shoot back, but if there's not, they can just take pot shots at them. Oh, God, sneezes! Yeah. I'm okay. Alright.
While I was working on excavating that tunnel this morning, a bunch of dwarves ran in. I panicked and tried to hide the tunnel, but they all grabbed me and ran for the main hall. I was beginning to regret my deception when I noticed everyone was cheering. Turns out all the goblins left. They probably got bored or something. Everyone else thought I'd known about it from the beginning, though, and now the fortifications were almost done, and we were in a perfect position to deal with those dirty elephants.
Here's those fortifications. Ooh, and he's got a catapult there, so they should be able to just fire in there. I assume it's going to get a lot stuck on this, though. Nice little carved out area here. This is where it was up here, as you can see. That's catapult. That's that little tunnel where the elephants kept killing people. That little hallway that goes over the river. Front entrance is up here.
Between the military and the ballista, we managed to kill some of the elephants and force the rest away from the fortress. I've declared today a national holiday. With the fortress safe, I finally got around.
Whoa, this music's a little too excited. Holy buckets. Calm down there. That song always gets way too excited later on it. Let me know if it's too quiet or too loud, and I will adjust. Or if you have a recommendation of what music would sound good, as long as it's royalty free.
With the fortress safe, I finally got around to asking how much this job pays. All of the other dwarves looked puzzled, and they finally explained to me that they don't use money, and that everyone just works together. There's no way I'm going to keep risking my life in a fortress surrounded by goblins and elephants, so I ordered the smiths to start minting coins and sent a request to the capital for a bookkeeper.
I'm not sure if you had to request them in the early version of Dwarf Fortress. I know now you can just appoint one, but they may have to get sent nobles. Sorry, I just had a wee bit of matcha tea. Quite excellent, if I do say so myself. Alright, an elephant caravan has arrived from Afi Yadil.
We've also sighted an elven caravan approaching. I wonder if they'll mind the fact that the entrance to our fortress is surrounded by rotting bodies of elephants and dwarves.
I assume these are the elves. Alright. I'll read this one first.
I commissioned this bracelet in honor of our victory.
Here's the bracelet. This is a moonstone bracelet. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It's decorated with moonstone and mahogany, and encircled with bands of onyx, mandrill bone, and silver. This object menaces with spice of jet. On the item is an image of mandrill and dog in moonstone. The dog is striking down the mandrill. On the item is an image of an elephant and a dwarf in ropeweed. The elephant is making a plaintive gesture. The dwarf is laughing. On the item is an image of cheese in clear glass, and it can be yours for a low, low price of I don't know how many dwarf bucks.
Well, actually, I didn't so much commission it. When I went to visit the craftsman, he was babbling about dead cities and the awakening of ancient gods or something. Also, I have no idea where the cheese comes in, but I'm not going to question it.
Omega 13, welcome! Good evening, Zest Faces for everyone.
In other news, I traded some stone trinkets to the elves for berries and cloth. Turns out all the trades goods were out in the depot since no one would bring them back in, with the elephants and all.
Oh, it looks like he expanded that out. Oh yeah, it's all fortified now, so now all the bolts should shoot through this area in this tunnel, but they shouldn't be able to come back in. Yeah.
I've taken steps to make sure the elephants never menace this fortress again. The others think I'm paranoid, but they're all fools. The elephants will return, and unless we are ready, they'll trample every last one of us to death. No, I'm getting Scottish crap.
Rango Mango, welcome, Zest Faces. How you doing? Welcome. How was your week? Triumphantly zesty, I hope. Hope everyone's week was triumphantly zesty. If your week was triumphantly zesty, post a zest face and tell me about it. If it was not triumphantly zesty, post a zest face and then proceed to tell me about it again. Alright, part 21 by Bremen. A bookkeeper arrived from the capital, and already our people are beginning to hoard the precious coins. Of course, some can no longer afford rooms to sleep in. Alright, so interesting fact, the old Dwarf Fortress had a little bit of an economy in it. Toady does want to mod it back in, but it kind of broke. So the modern day Dwarf Fortress does not have an economy, where dwarves can have money and they trade things for money. But this hopefully makes room for the most recent wave of immigrants, which I was unable to prepare for due to the Goblin Elephant siege. Disaster struck today when the brewers came to me and told me they were running out of spirits, and there was nothing left to brew. Turns out I forgot to order farms to start in the spring. The ruler stuff sure is complicated. Disaster has struck. Our scouts have reported a herd of elephants is approaching the fortress. Alright, there's elephants. Due to the lack of time in cages, only 2 of the cage traps have been reloaded. This manages to catch 2 elephants, but the rest make it through. Meanwhile, all the dwarves assigned to ballista duty think this would be a great opportunity to eat, drink, or sleep. There's a bolt being fired from a ballista. There's another dwarf manning it. A ballista operator finally arrives on the scene and we get our second unpleasant surprise. The ballistas are incredibly inaccurate at short range. They only are inaccurate if you have a low-level siege operator, for those of you who are, I hope we're doing a little bit of tutorializing, and actually, if you get a really high-level one, they'll fire them just perfectly straight. But since they're low-level, they're very inaccurate. Success at last! Looks like the bolt went straight in and nailed an elephant in the face. The ballista instantly kills an elephant and hurls the body back a good 20 feet. Successive ballista shots manage to kill another elephant, but then disaster strikes when a dwarf wanders in and gets killed by an elephant. All the other dwarves, seeing opportunity for new capitalistic riches, begin to rush towards the body to grab his valuable equipment. I remember the stories they heard from my predecessor. I hurriedly ordered the outdoor to be locked. But the door is stuck open. Sabotage! That elephant sympathizer, that traitor, that quisling, that monarch butterfly! Monarch butterfly remains have trapped the door open, so now all of the dwarves are going to rush out. Monarch butterfly? A newt? Apparently, showing incredible coordination, a monarch butterfly threw into the door workings just before the time of the attack and jammed it open. With all the bodies and items left by the elephant, no one is doing such a low priority task as cleaning up bug remains. Meanwhile, the ballista operators, seeing the riches beyond their card fortifications, gleefully follow the cloud out the main door and into the elephant-choked tunnel. Assigning more dwarves to operate the ballistas depletes the remaining supply of arrows without effect. My marks dwarves run out of boats, and there are still 2 elephants remaining. There is only one chance left. I activate the entire military and send them in a massed charge against the elephants. Oh, that's a lot of miasma and a lot of dead dwarves. The recruits, minus some of those drinking, eating, and sleeping, let out a mighty shout and charge for the glory of Boatmurdered. No one can fault their bravery, only the results. Looks like maybe most of them died. That's a lot of dead-looking dwarves. Huh, all around great. Part 22. After consulting the diagrams and schematics left by my predecessors, I think I found a way to seal off the fortress. Okay, he's pulling the lever. I believe from the previous one that may have been something to throw water? Pull the damn lever. Alright. Pulling the lever has left entirely foreseeable consequences. Oh well, they were going to die anyways. I'm not really sure what that lever did. I don't remember. It's been a while since I last saw the last video. If you're watching these videos in succession, I'm sure you know, and I'm sure you can mention it in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch.
With the survivors all holed up inside the fortress, I began organising things to best effect. Without wood, I can't produce more ballista boats, but the lava forges and smelters are able to produce a trickle of bronze boats. I order as many dwarves as I can spare to arm themselves with crossbows and hope that they can find some without going outside. Most of the dwarves think this would be a perfect time to eat, drink, and sleep.
Seems to be a theme with his dwarves. Good lord. I wish he had a picture of it.
Meanwhile, the elephants, bored without a steady stream of dwarves to kill, are slowly torturing a war dog that was stuck outside. After a few months of being pricked by whatever crossbow bolts I could forge, the 2 remaining elephants keel over and die of blood loss. Victory! I order the drawbridge lowered, and the dwarves stream out for their first breaths of fresh air in months. I immediately order a door placed on the entrance to stave off the elephant hordes. However, within a month I become aware of another herd approaching.
I'm sure this must have been the gate. That must be what he was talking about. So there was a river, and the gate went up, and then I assume somebody fell into the water there. It's a nice little defensive measure, though. There's the gate going down. Here is that other herd hurtling towards them. Hurtling. Get it? Get it? I'm gonna drink the rest of my tea. Yum! I love matcha. I get matcha and I mix it with a bit of condensed... I mix it with water, then put in some condensed milk, and then some strawberry syrup, and it makes a delicious little yummy treat.
Alright. A single untrained marks dwarf stands ready to defend the crossing, but I doubt he'll be enough. I wonder why no dwarf has put up the doors yet, or even cleared the equipment and refuse from the area. A quick inspection finds the problem.
Good lord.
A huge number of tame animals, combined with the narrow corridors, is causing a truly horrific traffic jam. I order the corridors widened, and as many animals as possible put in cages.
So it looks like he's got it 3 wide, and he's decided to dig it out to be 4 wide, because look at all these dogs. That is a thermonuclear dog explosion. Not listen to Zest Wonderful Boars A+. Thank you, Morgana. I appreciate that. Hopefully it is sumptuous enough. Mac and cheese is amazing. Don't worry, I'm not eating on stream. My wife just gave me a bite. Oh no, now my throat's gonna be logy. Ah!
Alright, luckily the elephant herd turns south and skips the fortress entirely. With the corridors beginning to be passable again, a dwarf manages to construct the door, blocking off the elephants forever.
By the way, let me know if the sound quality is good, if the music is too loud, too quiet, too gassy, or if you just want to, comment on something in particular. Alright, ooh, it's a marble element.
In the final days of summer, a mason creates a controversial work of art to express his feelings of frustration and guilt. I have him imprisoned for defeatism. Oh, I can't wait to read this. Alright. Coda Samora, Dawn United, a marble amulet. This is a marble amulet. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with marble and jet and encircled with bands of horse leather, ropeweed, and cave spider silk. This object menaces with spikes of horse leather. On the item is an image of dwarf and elephant in marble. The elephant is striking down the dwarf. On the image is a dwarf and elephant in marble. The elephant is striking down the dwarf again. On the item is an image of a dwarf and a moonstone bracelet and turtle shell. The dwarf is raising the moonstone bracelet. On the item is an image of a buckler and capock, and it could be all yours for one low price of your eternal soul dedication to the elephant menace. It doesn't actually say that, but I think that flavor text helped. Dad Game, rating with a party of 2. Welcome Dad Game 88 and his viewers to the Dwarf Fortress reading. So yeah, that's great. Ooh, Stark Gravy Mad responded this was all in a forum, in case you weren't already aware. So there sometimes will be posts and stuff talking about it. Dad and son rating, nice. Stark Gravy Mad posted,
Here, I made an amulet of all the history I know. Look, it's an elephant slaughtering dwarves by the hundreds. You can really see the bones and gristle. If you check the back, there's a lovely rendering of a butterfly jamming the fortress doors open. Also, more elephants killing dwarves. That's a really metal amulet.
It's a metal amulet. Roar! Elephant death!
Alright, point 23.
One or two of the previous rulers.
Oh, wait, that's starting from mad again. One or two of the previous rulers died during my reign. I guess I should have documented that better, but it's kind of hard to keep track. What with the ground awash of dwarven blood and my panic attempts not to permanently screw over the whole succession game, I'm just reading it in their voice for fun. I won't remember anyone else's voices, but Stargraving Mad is my particular favorite. These are not in character, these are out of character. Rebin posted, most of them are dead, yes. I'll try to give more concrete everyone survivors in my turn. Locust posted, at least we're resting peacefully in our tombs, in spirit, probably underneath elephant remains in the physical sense. Alright, Brandon posted, is this in character? I think it is. Okay.
I ran out of coffins, and then I ran out of designated graveyard space. Most of you are spending your eternal rest in a garbage dump.
Oh, that sucks. He doesn't have a picture of it, doesn't look like.
The fall arrives, running right into a herd of elephants.
My forts in real life? Yeah! Burial ground is underneath the bones of your enemies, hopefully. Going to watch some NXT, my bro. What the hell is NXT? And good luck.
The guards engaged them for a bit, actually managing to take down two. But before all one free towards the fortress with
I lost the British side, now I'm too Scottish.
All one flee towards the fortress, various elephants causing diseases.
I can't seem to get it back. Hello, hello.
The elephants hang back and wait. They know the caravan has come back over the bridge, and the elephant never forgets.
Doriston, Dostormal. Child is taken by a fey mood. Children go up so fast these days. Ooh, Fire Imp. Left foot. Fire Imp, right upper arm. Fire Imp, corpse. Ooh.
Apparently, during the confusion, an imp wanders into one of the traps in the forging area and gets torn apart.
Am I being more Scottish now? Or was this how I did before? It feels more Scottish. Ooh, a pile of goo. He must have, never mind.
The elephants get bored without slaughtering anyone and leave, just in time for the caravan to make its escape. After a while, the caravan leaves. Some new immigrants show up. These go...
I gotta think orc.
These go a long way towards replacing our losses. Current population 74. I draw most of them into the army and reorganize it into a mostly crossbow-armed force, with a few heavily armored swords dwarves supplemented by a similarly armed town guard.
There we go. Just gotta think orc.
A bit of a Cockney accent.
Has been interrupted by mandrill.
Mandrills appear and head for the trade depot. I mobilize the army, but they're all busy sleeping and don't arrive in time to help.
Pizza plus zest tails. Woo! Every day you're out there looking for zest tails. Ooh! Tales of daring, do bad, and good zest tails. Okay, I'm done. Platinum ring. Oh. Goddamn mandrills. I think I had the same problem in a fort with mandrills. No! A mandrill has stolen a platinum ring. Sad face. Olin Broker has altered the price of goods. Oh.
But what's this? Apparently a number of mandrills are still across the river and unable to find a way across. Time for revenge.
Where are the mandrills? I don't see them. Must be these little symbols, I think. There's a dwarf.
A soldier reaches the far side of the river and fires his crossbow.
Okay, there was a mandrill down there. Oh, here are the mandrills. There's these M's that look like water. Okay, I see them now.
A hit in the foot. Die, mandrills. Die.
Na. What? DuckTales?
At last, revenge is ours. Meanwhile, in the fortress, the child prodigy begins construction on a strange artifact.
Oh, there it is.
Man, that kid needs counseling.
Alright. This is an onyx toy boat. Your craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is studded with silver, decorated with onyx, jet, and cave lobster shell, and encircled with bands of rock crystal. This object menaces with spikes of turquoise and rose quartz. On the item is an image of dwarves and turtle shells. The dwarves are speaking with the dwarves. On the item is an image of a dwarf and an elephant and a cave lobster shell. The elephant is striking down the dwarf. Seems to be a lot of dwarven murder by elephant going on, but that is really all the history this fort has so far. Only winter is left. Sorry this update is taking so long, but I'll try to finish it off tomorrow. Part 24 by Bremen.
Somewhat of an anticlimax, it was a calm and uneventful winter.
The
new military trains hard at the archery range. I only have a few short months to hammer a collection of peasants into a disciplined and capable army.
Looks like one of his dwarf became more experienced. Here's the shooting range. These are targets. Here are the dwarves. You can set up archery ranges in the game. These are the bedrooms. This is the cavern, I believe, that was flooded with lava. These don't really exist in the game anymore. Alright, what's this?
Inspiration is provided by the huge number of elephants loitering around just outside the walls with blood in their eyes.
Ooh, yeah, look at all these elephants. Holy crap. Spring has arrived.
Spring has come, and with its coming I've decided to retire and become leader of the armed forces. Memories of great elephant slaughters haunt my dreams, and only the crossbow will ever find peace.
Looks like he named himself as probably a leader of an army.
The defenders of Boatmurdered.
Torrent Dog posted, did my former ruler make it, or is he one of the lemmings who ate against the elephants? Bremen said,
you not only survived, but you became an insanely leveled out dwarf.
Legendary in 2 skills at every stat maxed out.
So I wanted to draft you in the military as an uber swords dwarf and steel plate, but I didn't want you to get any more former rulers killed.
Ultra mighty, holy crap though, that's a good military dwarf. Torrent Dog has been ecstatically, he's been satisfied at work with him, managed a very fine road lately. Blah 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 blah. Torjog likes marble, copper, red diamond, crystal glass amulets, mules for their stubbornness, and snake men for their impressive tails. Snake men, ooh! Tales of daring, do bad, and good snake tails. Alright, I'm done. When possible, he prefers to consume turtle and dwarven wine. Oh god, absolutely detest bats. Sounds good. Alright, part 25. On to a new ruler, on to a new voice with Sankis. Alright. Not too much happened, but I have a feeling the goblins will be back within a season, though, so stay tuned. I'm just going to see what kind of voice I should give this person. Maybe I'll just give him a squeaky voice. Jesus Christ, that was a loud noise from outside my room. Alright.
Today I arrived at the fortress to begin my job as director. The previous director of the fort has left me quite a nice fortress to work with. It is quite the typical dwarven stronghold. Nothing seems to be out of the order. What the frick is this fortress? After meeting with the former director and hearing all he cared to tell me, the fortress was now in my hands.
Is that voice too annoying? Let me know. Snake tails slew.
Since goblin invasions and elephants have been a threat in the past, I plan to rectify it by ordering the construction of a series of channels to release lava into the world. I cancel all other orders and begin construction immediately. The plan is to bypass the botched area that was done by a previous ruler. I am also planning on relying on only 2 floodgates. The path I have dug out will do the rest, guiding the lava to the outside and killing whatever threatens us.
Boy pass.
Boy pass!
You gotta keep your boy pass, otherwise you're gonna have a girl pass. Both are okay. There's the digging.
I scanned the surroundings outside. These elephants, if they remain, will be our first target once it's done.
Where can I get a girl pass? At your local Blues STV storefront. It's called Zesty Shop. Hashtag the zest of life. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright.
Luckily, they do not attack. Suddenly, I receive a report that one of our jewelers, Besmar, has drowned. Unfortunately, I'm unable to recover the body. It is suspected he committed suicide. I refocus on the lava channels.
Wasn't that the previous guy? Did he kill the previous ruler? The hashtag the ... zest of life. Perfect. Down with the bourgeoisies. Redistribute the grill passes. Yeah, every other person gets one. You don't want one, you're getting one. Did I feel like I skipped something. I can't believe he killed. I think he killed. I was the last person, I think.
While I do so, the yearly elven caravan comes.
Oh, there's the elven caravan. They sure are being accepting to elves.
I look over our supplies.
That's probably why they actually have bad luck.
I look over our supplies and see we are not in need of any goods that they can give us. However, I do order the stills to full activity.
Full speed ahead. Balls of steel. Ooh, the next one should be Balls of Steel. Duke Nukem. What the hell? John something. John, what the hell is his name? John whatever? Jean-Claude Van Damme? No.
Today, however, a true criminal rocks free. Ashtan Overbust, jeweler of Boatmurdered, is released after his jail sentence. He was charged with failing to comply with orders given to him by the wonderful and generous governor, thereby disrupting our glorious capitalist economy.
That must be them? Where are they? Where's the reticule? I don't know, it's hard to tell. I'm assuming they're in this area somewhere.
I'll keep a close eye on this scum. Any more wrong moves from him and he will be the first to fight in the upcoming gladiator arena.
Is that supposed to be it?
At this point, I notice my lava project is not being completed quick enough. I give this job high priority. No morning dwarf is to do anything else during the duration of this assignment. It is now first light of spring, and there have been no more important events. I seem to have spout too soon. On the 9th of Slate, a horde of mandrills attacked the fortress. The troops arrive in time. Groups of marks dwarves engage the mandrills from a distance, picking several off before engaging in melee. All the while, some dogs that have been stationed outside attack them as well. Soon, however, the battle is over, but it's not without loss. However,
period.
One war dog and a marks dwarf have perished. You will not be forgotten. Eden Rail Sash.
One single tear.
On the 2nd of fail site, I received word that a messenger that several nobles, along with some immigrants, are due to arrive shortly. Damnation! As if I don't have enough to worry about.
Good lord. A baron as well. That is a lot of people.
Prior to the arrival of these immigrants, we had 73 citizens. This brings us to 98.
That's a huge migrant wave.
With the advent of the Baron, we are in need of royal guards. I go around and appoint the most worthy to the role. Just as things were settling down once again, I receive a report that one of my novice miners has been acting strangely and is no longer working. Shortly after, I receive word that he has claimed a mason's workshop and will not allow anyone inside.
Taken by Fey mood.
He remains there, babbling to himself. What he wants I do not know, but hopefully he plans something productive. On a related note, I have procured the artifact volume for my room. I figure that I'm not being paid enough. Why not pad my room with some expensive items? Showing little respect for the dead, a masterwork of stark raving mad has been lost. If I get my hands on the one responsible, they'll be killed. Just in time.
Looks like a masterwork is lost, doesn't say what it is.
Just in time to cheer me up. I learned that the Fey Dwarf mentioned earlier has begun construction. Hopefully this item is useful, although I have my doubts.
Has begun a mysterious construction.
Damnation! Just as I suspected, this item is nigh useless. A basalt floodgate! You idiot! If I did not need you, I'd station you in the lava pit. In fact, I might do that anyway.
This is a basalt floodgate. All craftsmanship of the highest quality is decorated with felsite and circled with bands of basalt and felsite. On the image is an image of a dwarf and an elephant in chrysoberyl. The elephant striking down the dwarf. That is a lot of killing dwarves. Prime bought us the angry shreds.
Basalt! Basalt!
How do the British say it, eh? Eh, Morgana? You got a problem with how I'm pronouncing?
You got a problem with England then, mate.
As all the English people in the chat, give me death threats. How's my mouth moving? Kind of. Hold on, let me reset it. That's better.
Spring is now over. Nothing else of note happened during this time.
Alright, point 26. Bye. Sank us again. Megor Grendel posted, please post a screenshot of the whole fortress in our next update. It's been a while since anyone has posted one, and I'm desperate to see what's going on. Sankus, sure thing. Let's take a look at it. Wow, that's a lot. I wish there was a way, maybe I can like... Oh. Alright, yeah. Cool. Ah! There. That's about good. Right, how are you all seeing that? Yeah, you're seeing that pretty... Okay, whenever I click back in, it gets aggressive. Alright. So I know you can see this pretty well. Alright, we got our main road here. We got our main entrance. There's the suicide hall that we mentioned in a previous one. Bedrooms for new migrants. We got some nobles' quarters here. I believe these are workshops. This must be the gladiatorial arena or lava project. I'm not really sure what they have planned for that. There's the cavern. There's the lava. There's the water. Cavern is properly flooded with lava, so it cannot hurt anybody. Looks like the lava project here is stopped by the river, but they said they wanted to continue it to try to flood the surface. Right. Good stuff. Oh, I almost clicked out of the damn window. Oh, crap. Reset. Alright. How's that look? Good. I should probably zoom in a little for you guys. There. What do you think of that, huh? My dumb face is in the way, though. Hold on, let's move my face out of the way. There we go. Off to the side for you.
Alright. Autumn is equally boring so far, so I decided to post the horrible, boring summer update by itself, instead of making you all wait till tomorrow.
Oh wait, no. Seriously, there's like nothing going on. I got a bad year, I think. The rest of autumn, winter feel like winter better be effing awesome. It's not like I'm even missing stuff. It's gotten to the point where I'm making very inane events and updates because everyone just goes on about their business and nothing happens. Oh well, sorry for the lack of updates. It takes longer than I thought it would. I'll try to finish up by tomorrow evening with the final update. Alright, summer 1057.
The summer flood comes early this year. An ingenious series of bridges that the previous ruler made causes us to only lose a dog and a horse.
Cancel strict dangerous trade. Yeah, assumedly being washed off.
Shortly after the flooding, the human caravan arrived, bringing several wagons. Among the humans is a diplomat.
If y'all want me to skip past any part, if it's particularly boring and you're aware of it, feel free to let me know and I could do that.
One of our swords dwarves seem to have gone to great lengths to get a drink of water, instead of, going to the river edge, or, well, like the normal dwarf. He rides out into the waters and now stranded. I hope the idiot dies, but sadly he does not.
I don't see where he did that. I don't see him at all, actually. Is that him there? No, it's the human diplomat. There he is there, I think. He must have waded out to get a drink of water, and now he's stuck there.
The diplomat has arrived, and leaves after speaking to me. We accomplished nothing, and within minutes of him greeting me, he leaves.
That's basically what the diplomats did in the early versions. Now you can, request stuff, but in the early version they didn't do much.
Meanwhile, I set up some oilers to work. My first mission is to rid us of this embarrassingly failed aqueduct.
Aqueduct? And I spit on my screen again.
I also begin a mass engraving job for the stone engravers. This will increase our wealth greatly.
Yep, then smooths all the stone, makes the fortress go up more. Oh my god, my green tea is giving me a stomachache. Good lord. Ugh. Nothing important happens till late summer. Finally, the lava world flood device is finished. There it is there, bridged across the gap, and apparently the tax collector has altered the price of goods. That's good. There it is going over there, not cut off anymore. There it is spanning the river.
Now to test it out, I usher everyone inside and order the liver poured. It flows! Yes! So far, so good.
There's the lava filling up the tunnel. And apparently the mandrill child has been struck down.
It passes the aqueduct safely.
That's the, I think, aqueduct.
It hits the river.
There's the river there.
I am just about to release the lava over the river, and when I look outside, I notice the canals that the previous rulers had done.
I noticed the canals that previous had done extensive canal work. I noticed that the previous rulers, so this is deletable.
Were I to release it into the lava, were I to release the lava into the wild, these would instantly dry up on contact with the lava. Testing it now would be too risky. I'll have to save it, else my test would make the most trafficked portion of the fortress a steamy death trap.
Steamy. Like a Krabby Patty. A delicious steamed Krabby Patty. How about a lie waggle?
Aside from the wounded soldier lying unconscious, starving and dehydrated in the main hallway, the remainder of the summer remains uneventful.
There's all the miasma from very unhappy. Since nothing fun is happening, I decided to make my own events. Teaser for the next update. Population 98. Wealth has gone up quite a bit. And Plancel's peasant cancels chasm item. Could not find path. What does chasm item mean? Maybe that's old? Let's check it out. Part 27.
The autumn of 1057 starts with a death. Just 2 days into the season, a jeweler who had been sentenced to 3 weeks in jail dies of thirst.
That's poor jail work. You gotta put the food right next to the chain so they don't die.
While I'm elsewhere in the fortress, a fire imp wanders into one of our traps. He never saw it coming.
Good lord, left hand, tail, right foot, corpse. Got carved up. Nice.
When I turn back toward the outside, the Mason Guild leader is injured and knocked unconscious by elephants. They don't seem to finish him off.
That's because the elephants are evil.
Then, to make matters better, one of our more skilled metalsmiths is taken by a fey mood. This F better make something decent.
There he is, taken by the fey mood.
He claims a magma forge.
So magma forges you place on the edge of lava, and that makes it so they can operate without coke or charcoal. A pool of goo. Yeah, you like that pool of goo? Look at that. I assume when they die, they tend to expectorate.
Thankfully, we have what he needs for now. Not long after, the dwarven caravan arrives with the city elf liaison.
I believe these are the dwarves. The animal has grown to become a stray cow.
While the dwarves are busy offloading their goods, we get a visit from a few goblin snatchers. One is caught and killed in the trap, the other attempts to run. Seconds later, I get a notice that a Fey dwarf has begun a construction. I bet it has elephants on it.
There he is making it in his magma forge. And the snatcher is in here somewhere. I don't see it, though. Probably there. Those twos.
Then I get another report of goblin thieves. 2 more step under the traps. Effing idiots. Meanwhile, I speak to the liaison about goods for the next caravan. They have really nothing to offer, but more seeds is never a problem, so I ask for them. Just as the Mason went out to retrieve the wounded Mason Guild's noble, a horde of mandrills attacks. He tries to fend them off, but is taken down. The Mason arrives to find his boss dead, and also begins fighting the mandrills. The Mason runs, and the mandrills dart for the trade depot. The caravan ox dwarfs head them off, however, making my deployment useless. Damn! The mandrills are all killed, and the ox dwarfs head back to their caravan. Seconds later, the metalsmith finishes his artifact.
Accurameter Venom Sub, a silver amulet.
Oh hey! Frackin' elephants! How unpredictable!
Accurameter Unvenom Sub, raised angles the long of dripping. Ew. A silver amulet. This is a silver amulet. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of silver. On the item is an image of a dwarf and an elephant in silver. The dwarf is making a plaintive gesture. The elephant is striking a menacing pose.
We seem to have a bit of miasma problem, so I assign a few dwarves to clean it up.
That is quite the miasma problem. That's all this purple crap floating around. And apparently the farmer has calmed down.
Oh, frack! Mid-autumn migrants, as if we didn't have enough already. Oh well, it's only about 8 of them.
A wee bit of a problem. A wee bit of a miasma problem. Aye, Rango Bango. Did I say hello to you yet? If not, hello. Oh, yes, I did. You said you were sleepy. I'm kind of sleepy, too. Been drinking a lot of tea.
Whoa! Out of effing nowhere, I get a message that Torrid Dodge has been struck down. I can't find the body anywhere, though. I search all over for a sign of battle, but there is none. It's a mystery. With that, autumn is pretty much over. Nothing of note happens. The dwarves continue being fracking idiots. One jeweler starves to death in jail, and I search for more ore.
Alright, dog, try going to the unit stream, picking the corpse, hitting C, whatever the zoom the creature key works. That works sometimes. I must be avenged. I tried that. That didn't work at the time. They somehow retrieved your body. It's now resting in your tomb. Or would you be if the dwarves weren't bogged down with 10,000 orders? By the way, your tomb pales in comparison to mine. Yours? Mine. I don't see where the reticule is. That wooden table is an artifact. Hell yeah. This is one of the things I've made when there's really nothing happening in the early summer. Not as awesome as fully engraved, the resting in the jail. Blah, 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 blah. No, my werewolf table. My tomb is the cheapest of all, the mezzanine. I bet I died first too. Marijuana. Part 28 by Sankus. Winter 1057.
Hurrah! Winter has finally arrived. The final stretch before my year term is over. It starts off well enough. A metalsmith starves to death. I assume he was jailed for disobeying orders, and none of the lazy-ass dwarves fed him.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot of tantrums going on.
Our coin vault finally finishes. It contains the fortress's supply of coins. It's protected by a door of pure steel, followed by one of pure platinum. The late Dodger's corpse is finally placed within his tomb.
Rock on.
Since nothing is happening, I decide to set some traps in various areas. I catch a spider! Hooray!
You've caught a live cage spider.
Remember when I said shot was getting boring? I take that back. I have no idea what the frack just happened. I was just cleaning up outside a bit and mining out useless areas. By the gods!
That is a massive outdoor flood. Holy crap.
We immediately lose the miner who undug it.
Yikes.
The rest of those stranded outside are safe, for now. I get an idea to possibly save the fortress. If I release the lava I had trapped up, it will evaporate the water on contact. With nothing to lose, I'll do it. The lava is released and hits the water.
There's the lava hitting the water. That's all steam. Holy crap. That is a massive flood, though.
It continues spreading and steaming up. Sadly, the dwarves trapped outside are unable to flee. They either die horrible deaths due to scalding, or due to being burnt alive in the lava.
That sucks.
It's also very metal.
Cancels bring item to shop. Cannot find path.
Poor dog.
Holy crap. Look at that item spam.
After a while, it clears up. All the goods outside the fortress are burnt and they can't be recovered. The fortress is saved, but at a terrible cost.
Yikes, look at the outside, just completely burnt to ashes. That's all the gray you're seeing.
After everything settles down, I decide to engrave some things in my future's tomb. Clearly, I've suffered some sort of trauma.
Egor Shal Biban, the old stick of balls. Graved on the wall is an exceptional design image of a dog by Sankus Godric. The dog is burning! Good lord! The old stick of balls. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you can sure set it on fire. My misunderstanding, or there used to be natural floods based on season? I guess so. I'm guessing that's what used to happen on the river level, to make it a bit more difficult. Engraved on the wall is the civilly crystalline dumpling. The wall is a masterfully designed image of a dwarf by Sankus Godric. The dwarf is screaming. What an odd name. The dwarf is just screaming. Ah! Probably because the dog's on fire.
Things have begun settling down and finally become normal again as winter starts to come close. A dwarf becomes possessed. Yay! He claims a craftstor's workshop. Later begins production. Winter comes to a close. I am now retiring after only a year. Hopefully the next ruler is up to the task of rebuilding the outside and refilling the channels. Luckily, I finished my tomb before my reign ended. I now retire.
Ew, sorry for taking long. You maniac! This is from Itenza, posted. You maniac, you blew it up! Aw, damn you! God damn you all to hell! Did it solve the elephant problem, at least? Then Sankus posted a picture. Lava, water, lava. These are all E's of elephants. Good lord. And now they're gone. I assume these are the charred remains of the elephants. You tell me. At least the water flowing lava seems to give the next ruler an excuse to make the fortress into a moat, into a lava moat. This is a picture that was posted. Zaku posted deployment of the lava death system. There's the water. There are the elephants. Oh god! Pull the lever! Insert the two keys. Pull the lever. I assume in part 29 we're going to see the picture. What? That's all? I thought he drew more. I guess that's it. The deployment of the system. And then it deployed the lava. Alright, part 29 by Astronautonomicon. Can I do a stream bench for this or something when I get to a new reader? Nah, screw it. Too much work. First off, look who's back! The elephants. Look at all those elephants. How's this guy gonna be? I don't know how to do this guy. How should we do it? Anyone got any suggestions? If anybody knows the stream. First of all, look who's back! About 12 of our large pachyderm friends decided to take up residence just beyond the river where so many of their family members were cooked alive by an ocean of boiling water. They have yet to cause my dwarves any trouble. Well, except maybe this guy. That's the dwarf, those are the elephants, and they're destroying him. Stunned, extreme pain. He looked so happy, too. And then this poor fella drowned. That's a mechanic drowning in the river. Noting our lack of gems, both rough and cut, I set about designating a large area for excavation. The double-wide spacing allows maximum exposure of gems with the least amount of effort. Plus, it will keep our few mine dwarves busy for a good long while. There is the nice grid work there. On the 15th of granite, those pointy-eared pricks that refused to bring anything useful for trading arrived. Unfortunately, they were just south of the massive herd of elephants. By a few screens, reached our trade depot unscathed. Seems actions of one former ruler upset the great elephant civilization. Let's see here. Okay, face ring is still good.
You have disrespected the trees in this area, but this is what we have come to expect from your stunted kind. Further abuse cannot be tolerated. Let this be a warning to you.
Grindorf read it for dramatic effect. Shortly after the elves arrived, we received another glorious gift from the outside world. Immigrants! Wow, 21 immigrants. Buckets loads. Jesus. That's all of them there. Along with them came the treasurer, tax collector, hammer, mason's guildmaster, and dungeon master. Due to the sorry state of our current noble housing area, I set about designating new homes for our distinguished brethren. I am also working on filling out all of our current nobles' requirements. We have gone without studies and dining rooms for far too long, and are nearing revolts. Maybe just imposing bans on certain exports. In event, rest assured that when my reign ends, all nobles will be fully satisfied. That's a money-back guarantee. And those who aren't will be sleeping at the bottom of the cave river. With that guy. With that strange little thing. All of this, and it's only mid-spring. Let me know if you all like this small event coverage, or if you prefer to be involved in the major events happening, such as Zergrush Elephant Stack. I leave you all with the shot will be my final restoration of the excess amount of elephant engravings. All my dwarf engravings are either melting or in a fetal position. Okay, that's out of character. Boat Murdered. Welcome to fabulous Boat Murdered. It menaces with spikes of lava and dead dwarves. That's a really blurry ass picture. Ah. Yes, I'm responsible for the terrible corny channel arrangement spelling out SA, and I apologize. On to the update. Dum-de-dum-doo, all is well in boat. Oh, Jesus! One of my jailed masons decided to go all burning rage on the poor fellow that was bringing him water. The innocent green dwarf is in the process of being hurled into the stone wall in the shot above. That's the green dwarf right there. That's the dwarf throwing him into the wall. Taking a brief respite from his brutal attack on the jeweler, our escaped convict then ruthlessly slays a nearby cat and proceeds to kick the mortally wounded jeweler around in the prison until he dies. Good lord. Stay hydrated, bots. Yes, I need liquids. Hopefully my wife will bring me some. I'm going to tear off this bandage because it hurts, and it's going to really hurt when we pull it out. Okay, wish me luck, everybody. I pulled off a lot of arm hair. I gave blood today. Ouch. We're fine. As he attempts to flee the scene of the crime, he is interrupted by a nearby swords dwarf, and a fierce battle ensues. After being beaten senseless and tossed around like a ragdoll, our brave swords dwarf falls unconscious. That mason is wielding an artifact bracelet. Jeez. Two fortress guards rush the murderer, and one gets disabled almost instantly. The other one managed to send Mr. Mason flying all the way down the hallway and into a wall. Victory! There is our hero and saver, Eshtan Burial Gears, and some random Marksdwarf that took no part in the battle and just showed up for the picture. That, I think, is the dwarf. There's a Mark's dwarf or something. One dwarf was dead on the spot, and the other two were probably going to die from their wounds, but at least now some lucky dwarf gets to save ownership of that marvelous bracelet. About a week after all that carnage, one of our dwarves gets inspired. This got its construction. It's a mystery. This is an Evertine chest. All the crest is the highest quality. The image is a dog and a mandrill and of Evertine. The dog is making a plan of gesture. The mandrill is striking a menacing pose. Success! Amazingly, there's no imagery of either elephants, melting, or a dwarf on a war crime. It is now summer. So it is all that really happened in spring. I figured I'd cover the whole prison break and subsequent slaughter for those interested in the combat aspect of Dwarf Fortress. It's fun to pause mid-battle and view all the new wounds your dwarves acquire. Otherwise, you have to look at 2 blinking ASCII characters. I'll try and play the entire season for my next update. Bada boom bada bing, part 31 by Stark Raving Mad? Good Lord! Are we coming back to Stark Raving Mad? Nice! So I'm sorry to schedule my Dwarf Fortress time properly. Nothing really important happened in the seasons I played anyway, so I might have better luck with this update. Editor note, at some point, Astronomica was unable to complete his turn. The fortress reverted at the end of Senka's turn, handed over to unknowing as of Astro's turn had not happened. In the resulting downtime, Stark Raving Mad went on exploration of an alternate universe boat murdered in adventure mode to check out all the detail on the artwork our dwarves created thus far. Stark Raving Mad posted, intermission. Journal of Ushav Birtranel, human archaeologist. After long searching, I believe I have finally found the ruins of Dwarven Fortress that was hypothesized to have been in the smooth points of pride. According to the ancient journals we found, it was called Koganusan in the Dwarven tongue, which roughly translates to boat murdered. It is unknown from what that name derives. How excited the guild would be! We have been looking for this outpost for some time now, as it may shed light on the historical events of the time period around 1050. Perhaps I can find some old records or journals in here which will be instructive. I will proceed immediately into the cavern to see if this indeed is the remnants of the fortress. Enter 2. It is better than I could have hoped. The fortress is truly grand. This must have been an outpost of great value to Dwarvish Kingdom. I cannot yet tell how deep the mountain it goes, but it appears quite vast. And even more importantly, the dwarves preserved their history. Not in books, but in the stone of the fortress itself. Many of the surfaces are engraved with depictions of historical events in that time. I will endeavor to determine what some of these pictures mean, and document them via descriptions and charcoal rubbings to take back to the guild for entry into the great histories. I can't imagine why no one has documented this before. Entry 3. It appears that the people of Boat Murdered encountered a great sorrow. Apparently, they had enormous amounts of trouble with the local pachyderms. Elephant, a dwarf. The dwarf is striking down the dwarf. Talking about elephants killing dwarves. Artwork relates to the killing of Sodal by Lung Despair, the Nettle of Meditating, and Boat Murdered. They are just a representative sample. There are dozens and dozens of engravings of dwarves being struck down by a seemingly endless herd of legendary named elephants. The slaughter must have been unimaginable. I cannot conceive of what they must have done to engender so much hatred from the elephants. It seems they did fight back, and eventually triumphed against the elephants. However, Fergud, the pulpy constructive ghoul, good lord. A finely designed image of Sorship, the youthful spasm, the elephant, and Tekod Brixit, the dwarf, by Torjorj. He's making a plaintive gesture. Tekod is laughing. That relates to the mortal wounding of Sorship, the youthful spasm, by Tekod. So the great elephant's attacks do not provide a clear reason why Boat Murdered was eventually lost. Their numbers were probably weakened by the elephant attacks, however, and it seems some dwarves died from their wounds or from starvation or dehydration while wounded. Dehydration and Boat Murdered. Yep, apparently the entry 4. Apparently the mandrill was the official symbol of the dwarven civilization. Ragelmoth, a silvery legend. Fine Torah dog rendition of a well-designed image of mandrills. Image is symbol of oaken tombs of dwarven civilization. Oh crap, mandrills became the artifact after how many things they stole and people they killed. The dwarves of Boat Murdered were capable of great feats of artistry and craftsmanship. Or should I say, craftsdwarfship? There are engravings of great artifacts being created. The artwork relates to the creation of sound syrup and of sweetness, small gold chain. Oh, goodness gracious me. I also found some old coins, also of great artistry, depicting trade relations between Boatmurdered and other dwarven locations. Entry 5. Wait, I hear sounds from deeper within the fortress. Perhaps some remnant of the ancient civilization lives yet. Could the dwarves merely have retreated deeper into the mountain and cut off their ties with the outside world? This is fascinating. I will go see what's making these noises immediately. Oh god, they got murdered by a troll. Troll punches you in the left foot, punches in the left foot, troll releases the grip, pull punches you in the lower body with the right hand, it explodes into gore, you have been struck down, dead. Part 32 by Stark Raving Mad. Doop-doo, killing stuff, doop-doo, ran back into heal. Doop-doo, killing stuff. He's playing as a, what? Doop-dee frick. So apparently he then went back and fought again. This is pretty cool. As you look at the engravings, it adds stuff to the uncovered legends list. Nice. Art. Current history of Boatmurdered that I've discovered. Boatmurdered was a mountain fortress. Only the barest fragments of this amazing story have been uncovered. It is one of the greatest untold tales of our times. In the early spring of 1051, this is all in-game text, by the way, the parades of bodies of oaken tombs found Boatmurdered. In the early summer of 1052, sound syrup was created in Boatmurdered by Stark Raving Mad. In the late winter of 1052, Kel Plainsmere died from thirst in Boatmurdered. In the early summer of 1053, Blank was struck down by slid teeth in Boatmurdered. Bled to death, drowned, Boatmurdered, 1054, bled to death, struck down. That's when the elephants came, it looks like, and got named. That's a lot of deaths, holy crap. It's pretty cool. I've never tried to explore the fortress deep before. You click on the dirt people in your legends and see what it says. So far I've explored deep enough to get more engraved. If there's interest, I will upload a save file and people can look through the legends. Part 33. Okay, this is just external stuff. I'll skip this. It's basically them walking to Boatmurdered to explore it. Something we can't do anymore because the save file is too old. Final Dwarven Archaeology update. I drafted an army. Went in, cleared it. Alright, part 35. By Unknowing. It's been 2 hard weeks since Mother evicted me. But I still stand by my decision. It is unfortunate that she does not understand the trials and tribulations of a budding storyteller. Who does she think she is? Telling me I either need to find a real work or leave the house. My colleagues and I were not simply playing wizards and warlocks. We were formulating ideas for the next great work of literature as a collective. I'm just going to close my window quick before my neighbors get pissed off by my weird-ass voices. Don't want to get sent to the insane pokey. Or the insane asylum. Or the pokey of insane. The pokey of insanity. My travels have brought me to the dwarven city of Boatmurdered. My diminutive statue and full beard have led its citizens to accept me as one of their own. How fortuitous. The sufficient yet handsome architecture of the city leaves me in awe. Sounds like he's supposed to be a short human then? There's the main moat. The dwarves seem unfamiliar with wizards and warlocks, but tales of my exploits as a traveling war mage have been well received. In light of the recent loss of their esteemed ruler, they wished me to serve as a guiding hand in the development of the city. Naturally, I accepted. As you would have said, I would never amount to anything, Mother. He killed his mother and is wearing her head as a hat. Mom hat. Mid-spring, 1058. The construction of Sanctus Sermium, the sacred temple of the gods, is underway. The dwarves, unfortunately, fail to realize the scope of my success in this project. I will soon be the first man to realize the creation of an exact replica of the most famous locations from wizards and warlocks. Nonetheless, the dwarves do appreciate my skill in architecture. Looks like a squid man. Late spring, 1058. The past week has been a great disappointment. The elven traders who arrived 10 days past left quite livid earlier this afternoon. In traveling to our humble abode, they had become quite displeased with the voracity of our lumber industry. Attempts to console them went awry, and they took great offense to my offering of fishbone earrings. Alas, I had wished to hear the melodious elf songs of wizards and warlock fame.
You have disrespected the trees in this area, but this is what we have come to expect from your stunted kind. Further abuse cannot be tolerated. Let this be a warning to you.
Early summer, 1058. This place is truly becoming a bore. Not a single dwarf among the entire population knows of the wonders of wizards and warlocks. All attempts to teach them have been rebuffed with laughter. No one else seems to understand the importance of wizards and warlocks. I have ordered the construction of a bridge across the magma chasm. The area has perfect ambience to be the site of my future endeavors to bring the wizards and warlocks universe to life.
Midsummer 1058.
The dwarves are becoming nervous as the construction progresses further into the mountain. I reassure them that my magic is mighty enough to conquer any of the creatures that may lurk in the depths.
Part 36 by Unknowing. Late summer 1058.
Disaster has struck. Progress in the antechamber of darkness came to a standstill when inhabitants of the abyss, drawn by the dismal atmosphere of the structure, came to roost. Before I could reach the site to provide aid, it was already too late for our poor advanced miners. The halls echoed with a cacophony of screams from the unspeakable atrocities the dwarves endured before succumbing to the sweet embrace of death. On the positive side, progress on my novel has increased exponentially.
Disaster has struck. Yes, Dad game. Late summer 1058.
The situation has taken a turn for the worse. The demons have begun encroaching on the central fortress. All attempts to repel the monsters with magic have failed.
It better scare you, Dad game.
Never before have I suffered such an unfortunate string of failed attack rolls. The fortress guard has been deployed to fight in my stead, while I rest to renew my supply of magic missiles.
Oh my.
Early fall, 1058. It seems the entire fortress has lost confidence in my abilities as leader. I admit the ultimate failure of magics was unfortunate, but I was able to guide, from a safe distance, the fortress guard into victory over the demons. All things considered, the battle went quite smoothly. I've never seen why the dwarves live in such great fear of the creatures of the depths.
Cancels load kid chaps, needs empty cage. So I assume a Deviant incursion has come through some kind of hell pit. That does not exist in the world anymore, as it currently stands, like unblocked, you know. Mid-fall, 1058. That is a lot of goblins. This is not going well for Boat Murdered.
I thought that after the defeat of the tentacle monsters, of which I have several novels related to, I could relax and recover from the horrible damage my reputation has incurred. Alas, it was not to be. A mere 5 days later, a forager returning to the city with alarming news. Goblins, envious of the fame and fortune I brought to Boat Murdered, were en route with the intention to lay siege to my city.
Late fall, 1058.
The dwarves continue to go about business as usual, despite the presence of goblins just outside the fortress. They are confident that the goblin intelligence cannot outmatch the defensive power of dwarven door technology. I, however, am not so sure. Tonight I shall use the predictive power of dice to determine whether or not the goblins can divine a method with which to breach the doors. Late fall, 10:58. As expected, I was quite correct in my assumptions. I rolled a natural 20 in the goblin leader's stead, and thus the doors will be breached tonight. There is 20-minute break between guard shifts shortly before midnight. Preparations are almost complete. Early winter, 10:58. After several days of fighting, the entirety of the goblin forces have been driven from the city or slain. Although no one knows how the goblins were able to enter the fortress, my leadership abilities have once again been called into question. Once their investigation of the past year's events is completed, I will be called before a tribunal for questioning. Midwinter. A decision has been reached. The tribunal has somehow come to the conclusion that all blame for the year's tragedies lies with me. However, thanks to the bonds of kinships all dwarves share, I shall not be executed or exiled. I have been told I must earn my meals as a worker, or artisan, or starve. This situation feels oddly familiar, but this time I will endure the indignity of such unfair treatment. My novel is completed, and my rise to literary greatness is at hand. Now, if only I could find a publisher. Sankus posted. Tell me Sankus is living. Tell me he's still living! Unknowing posted. Sankus is still alive and being a big show-offy jerk. As if I'm going to study engraving under him. Look at all those expert things he's crafted. Alright, on to part 38 by Cross Quantum. How should we do this voice? Any suggestions in the chat? Scream them out. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick one.
Well, diary, it happened again. The RA found the wet reeds.
No, wait, this has got to be a stoner. Well, diary, it happened again. The RA found the ratweed stashed in my dorm room along with during the winter break festivities. The cretin. I mean, I know our beards are a norm in the society, but you could at least wash it once in a while. Muttered something about 3 strikes or straights or something. I don't know. I was stoned. I just had a bowl of ratweed. I don't know anything about bowling or poker. On the plus side, I found some wonderful imported elven curtains that perfectly complement the lilac accent I painted on the windsill. They're simply to die for. Holy shit, no, is this guy a fop guy again? Oh no, this is a valley girl. Look at that. Oh my god. The RA came back and said I was going to be expelled from the university. This is so unfair. I'm going down to the dean's office at once. There's no way someone of my caliber will be expelled for something as trifling as this. The dean said there's nothing he could do. Let me tell you, I gave him a piece of my mind. I reminded him who it was that had the idea for performance of School Fountain has water turned into a pudding topped with human, dwarven, and elven feces in the shape of angels that got so much press last year. About how much publicity the University of Glazeloins got for that, and how it pushed off those Philistine ingrate donors, you know, the ones who might have a lot of money, but no taste, you know? That was a lot of freaking commas ending in a question mark. I'm thinking to throw up. Loving Valley Girl Zest. Perfect. I'm glad you're enjoying Valley Girl Zest. I think refreshing his memory worked because he smiled at me and said he did remember something about a job opening in one of the newer settlements. He said I would be perfect for it, that I deserved it. He said he'd get in touch with me tomorrow. Should I like switch my face rig character? Should I switch it to like this girl or something? Well, jeez, god. I'm like the king of a dwarven fortress or something. Does that look too? Does she look a little too terrifying? Oh my god, her face is nightmarish. Oh my god. Ah! She's not really picking up my face very well. This is an absolute disgrace. This is an absolute disgrace. Sure. Holy crap, there's a lot of new characters in here. I think this girl might be fine. I don't see anyone else that really screams Valley Girl to me. Oh, so desu ne! Oh, senpai! Oh my god, her eyes are portals to hell. Look at that. Great, Badinsky, welcome! We're just putzing with some things. Let's just be this girl and have her be a huge Valley Girl. Her face is like Botoxed. Alright. I'm into it. Perfect. Glad you like it, Ringo Bango. Let's do it. I found a note in the mailbox this morning from the Dane. I just want to see how it looks. Looks like it's blending okay. She's like Botox, though. She's so stiff. Okay. I found Obsidian 1058. I found a note in my mailbox this morning from the Dane. Now, apparently this place is a town called Boatmurdered. God. I hate how all these suburban developers give their stupid little towns such boring, faux pastoral names. Anyway, apparently the place is in need of some sprucing up. Something about how all the local interior decorators are fixed on elephants or for some reason, and they need some new blood to come and reinvigorate their living spaces. I'm so excited. My first real-world job, and I'll be in charge of a whole town's interior design needs. I bought tickets for the next caravan right away, and we leave in an hour. If all goes well, I'll arrive by the 1st. Well, I'm here, diary. I've taken some survey of the fortress state, and let me tell you, it's pitiful. We all know our people like to engrave historical events, so I've included a few charcoal rubbings of some typical Arabians here, and then I had to like wash my hands for like 2 hours because the charcoal got under my nails, and Rebecca was like, ew, what have you been doing, picking your nose? And I've been like, no, Rebecca, don't be so ill. That was all flavor text directed by me. That was actually not part of the story. It'd be pretty great though. Alright, ringer of glassing, elephant striking down the dwarf, image of cheese, well-designed image of cheese. Cheese and elephants. Apparently, the two most significant historical events here in Boatmurdered are elephants and cheese. I mean, cheese makes me bloated and gassy, so I don't eat it, and I'm like totally doing this whole like milk-free thing because I heard it's supposed to be super good for your skin, and you just like, you know, you take almond milk and then you mix it with a plum helmet and then you pour it down your throat, and it's supposed to make you super fancy and great, and I use it all the time. And then I'm considering even going vegan, like, because I'm really sad whenever we have to slaughter all those cats and dogs. It's totally not cool, and we need to move on and be a more progressive culture. Nothing against anyone who's vegan. I actually had some pretty good vegan food. Intrigued, I investigated the art history of the settlement further. I discovered this artifact, which I can only presume was the inspiration for all the intimidators. The dog is striking down the mandrill. Image of cheese. Having viewed it myself, I must agree that the image of cheese speaks to the dwarven spirit and will be a cultural treasure for generations to come. Anyway, I have a few ideas for adding some pizzazz to this dreary settlement. For starters, this place needs way more openness. So I've placed an order for windows to be made and installed to improve the ambience. I've gotten the ball rolling on some other projects as well, but you'll just have to wait and see about those. P.S. diary. Apparently this job comes with some sort of clerical duties or something. I don't know. Like, when I got here, the people kept asking me questions about farming and fighting demons and stuff. And I'm like, hello? Do I look like I know anything about that? If you want a makeup tutorial to get that blood off your face, why don't you let me know? Otherwise, Urist, I need you to, like, totally calm down and leave me alone.
Part 39, by Cross Quantum.
A lone elf noble has arrived. Like, I'm so excited. This is my first time reading a real elf, and it's a noble to boot. I sometimes feel out of place as a dwarf with my barely there facial hair and high-pitched voice. I could have been born an elf. Their culture is so superior to ours. It reminds me, I should see if I can order an elven lunchbox from the next caravan, as long as it's not pink. Pink is so out of touch with the basic color palettes of the world. I know everyone's like, come on, girlfriend, you need pink to be feminine. And I'm like, that is such an outdated prospect. Why don't you get with the times and know that pink is what people use to suppress other people with color I don't know where I'm going with this. But yeah, elves. Elves are so hot. Their eyeshadow is on point. Have you ever seen Legolas? I mean, Legolas is like the hunkiest guy ever. Shortly after him, a group of monkeys showed up. Monkeys are so ew. They're all like hairy. It's gross. The leader of the local militia, the only able-bodied survivor of some kind of fight with demons or something. Tab back in the stream. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Explained to me how mandrills are deceptively fierce for their size and asked me for permission to release a militia. Gosh, these military guys seem like they're always looking for approval from an authority figure. Anyway, I told him to do whatever, so he picked 4 peasants to help him out. And I was like, whatever. Whatever. God, this avatar is so stiff. I hate it. Let's see if we can switch it out. Oh, we can do this guy. He seems like a valley girl, doesn't he? Like, whatever. I was just summoning the devil the other day, and he was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, what's up? Jeez, I sacrificed all these nuns to you, and you're like, what's up? I am majorly offended. Oh my goodness. Pink Fluffo. God, I look like I'm made of cotton candy and I have too much makeup on. Now I know we can have an extra character for Aika.
Oh, it's so cute.
With a pink Fluffo. Well, this is more cutesy than Valley Girl. We're looking for Valley Girl here.
Valley Girl? You want me to be a Valley Girl?
No, not you.
Oh. I really, really like that one. Does it have different colors?
Possibly. We'll do it later though. I gotta keep reading.
By the way, surprise Aika! Hi,
yeah, surprise
everyone.
Aika. Surprise Aika. Dun 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 dun.
Oh, we
dun,
match.
dun,
Look.
dun, 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 dun,
Look,
dun, dun,
that's
dun.
match.
Trans colors on literally everything.
Yes.
Is this representation? Hi, Rango Bango. How you doing? Who do we want to be for a Valley Girl? Could be like...
Morgan Love hates. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's a Maine Coon cat.
Can this be a Valley Girl? I think I should do this be a Valley Girl. Should we have it be like a gray kitty?
Kitty, kitty.
Yeah, let's have her be with the headgear.
Headgear.
Give us kitty. All right, we're doing kitty for the Valley Girl.
So cute. Oh, by the way, I want sits.
Sits?
Sits.
All right, well, don't block my camera.
Don't block your camera.
Ow!
That was me, not you.
I'm in pain.
I hurt myself.
The leader of the local... Oh, wait, I already saw that. All right.
Valley Girl?
23, Granite. Goblin pedophiles infiltrated our fortress. Kidnappers made off with child Olin Braziers. Fortunately, the captain of the guard was able to stop the kidnapper's partner. It was totally out of line. I sent the parents of the kidnapped, presumed trigger, and probably dead child a sympathy card and a hand-assembled bouquet of flowers. It was totally beautiful. I bet they felt way better afterwards. Also, the bookkeeper went mad, and now he sits on the side of the main entrance hallway, panhandling, screaming, demanding at passerbys for exactly 5 platinum and 5 gold. I mean, come on, you can't look fabulous while you're sitting on the edge of the hallway. It's just not faux pas enough to be fashionable. 24, Granite. The bookkeeper's body was found on the shores of the Cave River today. Apparently a suicide, which is not fashionable anymore. Although the captain of the guard suspects foul play, it seems the bookkeeper had made a lot of enemies when he arrived and did away with subsidized housing. Diary, I'm gonna get a little worried for my safety I think I'll confer with the Elven Noble as to what colors are the most calming. I'm thinking like an autumn sunset, but a lot of people say like a serene blue that really calms you down. That's why I thought about it. And the elf was all like, I only have wood. I don't really paint my wood. And I was like, oh, never mind. 24 granite. Update. When I have Elven Noble's quarters, I found that was a note that he was unhappy with his stay and left early. I think I'll go to quarters and burn a sage and citrus scented candle, eat some cookie dough, and weep myself to sleep. Hematite, 11. The rest of spring ended uneventfully. In fact, I'm starting to get downright bored. A vile force of darkness has arrived. Cancel's drink could not find path. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. What do I do? What do I do? I've never even seen a goblin. Let's get sieged by them. This job description didn't say anything about sieges. This is totally The leader of the militia called me a goddamn sissy and said he'll be right back. I am so pissed. He is getting a major talking to when he comes back. He cannot treat me like that. He's probably gonna give a rousing speech to his men, sweaty, armored, and tense, before making a valiant last stand. Oh, it's like so dramatic. If I must die, at least it's in a way that's so... Cancel drink, cancel drink. Oh my god. That is a lot of lava flooding out of the fortress. Diary, it was terrible. That militia leader just killed them. Burnt them all to a crisp, without even trying to make peace. Not only that, but he burned up all the grass and woodland creatures outside too. Even this cute little bunny, which I was thinking about taking as a pet and naming Humphrey. Some of the soldiers gave me dirty looks and maybe spit on me like once or twice, but you know, lava is like the new mascara, so I don't give a crap. That's okay though, because my first product came to completion. Oh wait. Burned up all that were so violent and destructive. I painted a mural in Wild Barracks saying no blood for lava on protest. Oh, I missed that. That's fine though. It's my hope that it will inspire contemplation and raise the collective consciousness of the community to a higher level. Cat equals Valor. What's confusing here? I know, right? It needed to be something, just a little different. It could be Kaiser. Oxen! Maybe I'll do that one next.
I think my husband makes such a great Valley Girl.
Hey!
Yeah.
I'm the presenter here.
Aww. But Valley Girl is like totally my family's thing.
It is? That's
Yeah,
depressing.
actually.
Alright, back to the story. Kaiser Kitty. Seems that the rest of the townfolks are using the new statuary mainly to throw parties involving monkeys and horses. God. Like, God.
Could you do me a favor? Could you go close the windows for me?
Oh, okay. 1 second. Pausing for just a second. We're just doing a quick pause. Pause.
Pause.
Pause. Pause. Pause.
I can do
Pause. 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 No. Alright, be right back. 1 second. Almost done. Almost back. Stay patient. Stay patient, everybody. Almost back. Give me about 1 more minute. 1 more minute. All right, I'm back. Hold on to your butts. Ugh, my headset is all sweaty and smells disgusting and makes me sad. Blah. All right. Whoops. Unpause. Back to the fort. Is everything okay? Everything's great. Everything is just fine. Why do you ask? Okay. There's that little thing he built. Townsfolk. It seems that the rest of the townsfolk are using the new statuary. Oh, I already saw that. Yep. End of summer. 16th limestone. Diary, I'm becoming dismayed. Working on the projects is already falling behind schedule when this happened. A vile force of darkness has arrived. That's a lot of invasions. A group of them caught one of our dwarves outside. It seemed to me that they were walking up to discuss options for peaceful coexistence, and then they just, like, stabbed them in the face instead. It was totally uncool. I mean, if you're gonna get a piercing in your face, you can't use a sword. It totally doesn't work. I was so shocked. I turned to say something to the captain, but he shot me a dirty look and walked out the door. There is the lava thing going again, flooding the outside world. The siege delayed project construction even further. Life is totally unfair, Diary. I feel so depressed now. I've been passing the time by hauling rocks in remote parts of the fortress. I know there are more important stone hauling jobs to do, but some of the dwarves just need some time to think alone, you know? Give me a drink of chocolate milk. I don't have any kombucha, very sadly. At least milk is good. The rest of fall passed without incident. Thank God. The farmers brought in the last of the pigtail harvest this year. This was my idea. You can eat, drink, or wear organically grown pigtails. I was gonna make them out of hemp, but everyone was like, no, and I was like, yes, and then they made it illegal, and the guys from the mountain homes are like totally outdated and rude. It was not a good situation. Not a good situation. Good. There was a frogman ambush earlier today. The soldiers and traps took care of them pretty quickly, but I'm starting to think we may have to invest in better sanitation. That is a lot of blood running downstream. That's probably the Frogman is the F. 17th, Moonstone. Diary, I am starting to hate it here. It seems that every other day, there's some kind of, like, new invading force of some kind or another, and there's, like, blood all over the hind hallway. Where does it even come from? Butterflies that stink with the stench of 1,000 corpses, and screams of possessed dwarves echo through the halls. My whole first paycheck gets here soon.
24th, Moonstone.
I am feeling myself grow callous here. I didn't even look up when my assist told me that a kobold raiding force showed up on the outskirts of our settlement. Sadly, I was even less surprised when they immediately left. Come on, guys. We have a nice settlement. Why don't you stick around? I spent all this time, like, engraving these great hallways. It was just beautiful, and now you're just leaving all my hard work. It's making me really, like, you know, like, crying. Then my mascara is gonna run, and it's not cool. What, was it the Ashen Wasteland? The bloodstained gates? Was it the screams of madmen or the stench of death? We've got awful nice engravings of effing cheese here. Come on the F in. 28th of Obsidian. Well, Diary, I've had enough of it here. I feel like a failure. My project sits almost completed, but not quite. It feels like when I it feels like when I couldn't quite have my papers done for one of my old professors. Only the outright fail asshole kind of professor, not the oh well you lose a letter grade sort. This place is dirty and foul, not all like the loving utopia I hope to craft. I shall leave instructions to whomever comes after the functioning of the project. Here's a crude sketch of it. I think I shall see if those frogmen corpses are still around here. I heard that licking their skin can be very enlightening. I hope it's just strong enough to make me forget all that's happened here. End of diary. Oh, that's the end of him. Okay. Major failure, huh? Is this supposed to be... Oh, and Starkly Mad, I watched about 5 minutes straight of Deadwood. I think my update may even contain more profanity than it comes to yours. Mind if I bring Ral back? Former ruler. I think he's... Oh my goodness. He's gonna go over what Starkly Mad did. Apparently devoured by a real-life monster, save reverted and end of chrono. So I personally think that was so good for 2 days. Probably said F this and wandered off to get drunk. Oh god. Okay, so here's I guess a slight undo that is was promptly undone. Let's change up who we are. Who looks angry and Scottish? Maybe a Scottish velociraptor. Ah! Ah! Looks like he's gonna throw up. Blah. Blah. Maybe a turkey. This is really shitty. Eek? What are you eeking at? Everything's fine. What the hell is this thing? Looks like a Star Wars dude. Ancient knowledge brought to you by a familiar face. How is this a familiar face? Oh my god, his eyes are terrifying. How about businessman? Business. Parker! Get me those pictures of Spider-Man! I don't know. Let's just be all fluffo with the dwarven mask. Oh, old avatar. There we are.
Got the helmet back on. Spring. So the cocksucker sent me back to effing Boatmurdered. All the effing gold under the hill, and a superior cougar skin waistcoat in exchange for use of my effing extraordinary talents to clean up the damn place in 1 year. Not that I have a damn choice. Every fortress east of here is suffocated in the bean-counting bureaucracy of the Peckerwood United Strongholds Alliance. And only shitholes like Boatmurdered have any autonomy left for business dwarves like me to prosper in. The effing smell of the place hits me before I even get to the river. The entire place is buried in a foul, godless seaward of a stench, looking and cloying great bastards of hills of smoke above the mangled cinders of what used to be the elephant fields. Starts to rain as I trudge across the bridge, washing the stink smoke into my clothes and picking off the drifts of rusty goblin armor. Oh, I hate the effing goblins. I have to kick a effing six-pack of the dirt-worshipping heathens out of the way just to get through the gate. Inside is the most tragic disgrace I've ever had the effing displeasure to see. Corpses, vomit, boulders, mud, and useless goddamn objects strewn 7 deep over every available effing surface. A skeleton crew of ragged, beat-up dwarves stumbling around on useless shit-lugging errands for a bunch of delirious opium-effed nobles, living in what they assure me is the lap of effing luxury, but which any sane dwarf is clearly some festering hybrid of a slaughterhouse and an antiques fair. Barely have I been inside for an effing minute when some cocksucker rushes up and thrusts upon me a pile of useless documentation about mechanisms, doomsday weapons, secret elephant projects, code-swiping machines, and God knows what else scattered around this cat's ass of a fortress. It took me all of 8 seconds to realize I do not have the time to acquire the effing college degree I need to decipher the plumbing and effing entertainment systems of a rickety death trap. So the documents go straight in the cave river. Wasting no time, I call a meeting with the cocksucking nobles and inform them that their demon-effed disaster area of a fortress is all theirs. They can do what they like with their shitty little empire. I am taking a couple dozen able-bodied dwarves who survived the demons and the sieges and starting a new site that might have effing hope for surviving another year. So I point south and tell the cocksuckers to start digging. This was settled into a damn mining camp, I say. And as for this effing moment, you're now fall into 2 categories. Miners and the cocksuckers who keep the miners alive. No effing jewelers, no effing mechanics, and no effing crash dwarves. Do I make myself understood? Am I going to sit down at that rusty piece of shit magma forge and crank out copper picks? And you got to use them to get some effing mining done so we can have a place to start a new town. I'm barely done making the last batch of picks when those cocksucking hoopleheads the elves show up, no doubt weeping their effing balls off about the elephant chunks being kicked around by children in the lake of blood outside the trade depot. Without even bothering to see what they have, I have 3 of my guys rob the piss out of them. Their haul is mostly useless shite, but at least he swiped some bloated tubers for my personal study of swamp whiskey. Thank Armok for that. At this point, Ral, your major failure is apparently devoured by a real-life monster, so the save was averted by the end of Quantum's turn. There we go. To Mystic Mongol, I perfectly think that Ral's swear again showed up for all of 2 days, promptly said F this, and wandered off to get drunk. I don't blame him for the mess that we're running into right now. Part 43 by Mystic Mongol. Lava Deployment. We just saw this one. Sadly, the first thread petered out and died because the waiting list got too long, and by the time the people in the middle of the line got to play, the situation has changed dramatically, and they suddenly don't have time to quite as much free time as they thought they did. I've stolen the original Boat Murdered and completely discarded the original lineup. If you played a turn in the original thread, feel free to sign up for another. If nothing else, you've shown that you'll help guide our tender little hole in the cliff into a shiny new future. If you're waiting for your turn, tough. Sign up again. Who knows? You might even get to play sooner than otherwise. In any case, I will be taking the first turn, the year 1060 myself. Rules again. I wonder if we... Damage control, turn list, Gorilla Medic. Okay, it is talking about all that's happened. Mystic Mongol again. Did we end up... Was he playing before? Is this the same person? Hold on. We're gonna go back to the index and try to find him again. I wish these updates were frickin' laid out properly. That is actually the end of thread 1, and we'll move on to thread 2. We'll read a couple into thread 2, and then I might call it, because I can't keep doing this forever, otherwise my throat will burn and I will die. A horriblest burping milk burps. Where the hell is he? I know I saw him in here. Wasn't he in here somewhere? No? Alright, Mystic Mongol. Your Highness, your humble servant, Giganmul, Mystic Mongol Flyer Gold, begs your patience with a report on the occurrences of your empire. The city fortress of Koganusan
more vulgarly known as Boat Murdered, has been a source of constant trouble to the Empire. While the riches found deep within the mountain are essential if we wish the nation of Kimmelbell, the Oaken Tombs, to prosper and crush our foes, Boat Murdered has a reputation for burning through leadership at an appalling rate. While you had seen fit to send many immigrants, even some of them of the true nobility, at late 1059, communication from the fortress ceased entirely. Of particular note was the sudden cessation of communication from Baron Nedbel Fiddlethub and his consort. He was convinced his wife knew nothing about. Military command decided to send some discipline this time to see what was causing Boat Murder's many problems. As with all the prior leaders had failed to clean up the mountain, I carefully examined their records to find out what had been done with their time. All had come to the fortress, admired the arts and crafts, or the legendary artifacts made by the renowned mad dwarves of that forsaken tomb, so I decided to start my rule with a thorough economic audit. 63 dwarves, 198 dwarf bucks. Weren't they at 90? They must either lost a few or started back a little sooner. Food supplies were good for a fortress of this size, although the low population count worried me. Early reports had implied that at least 100 dwarves lived in Boat Murdered. Indeed, there were many vacant bedrooms in the projects near the entrance, most of which were not properly licensed and zoned for dwarven inhabitants. I corrected this oversight immediately. Little brother, yes. Legal records have shown an oppressing amount of crime occurring in Boat Murdered, including one depraved dwarf who apparently amused himself by crippling defenseless animals. Cat's injuries to the spine, head and tail, or lungs are too horrible to depict, but I feel it appropriate to attach an image of the dog's plight. He said cat and then dog. I think he had a brain fart. He's missing his right front leg. It is little brother. I can make it on my own. Oh no. Let's push that off the screen a little bit so we don't all end up in sadness. I can make it on my own. Let us never forget what happens when lawlessness reigns free. These deviants need to be brought to heel. Almost worth noting that the former ruler of Boat Murdered was on record for repeatedly denying the orders of his superiors. The poor example to set. Delicious chocolate milk. The economic status was similarly depressing. Demand far outstripped supply on several key materials, unforgivable in a supposed mining fortress. Almost no cloth was imported. The head of the Masons Guild had jacked prices up on pants and skirts, and some strange tops-only clothing policy I don't wish to dwell on. And all leather prices were set low by the bookkeeper, except for hippopotamus, which was twice the price of the other leathers. No one seemed to remember who decided on that. I did a quick interview with the bookkeeper. I decided a quick interview with the bookkeeper would be prudent. Not only had the bookkeeper died, attacked, say the records, but so had two of the former rulers, including Tourette Doge, the one wanted for questioning. Apparently the founder of the fortress, he died shortly after defying the will of the nobility. Many of the nobility had died sometime after. Exact dates are unavailable, with no dwarf able to give a good reason why. The Baron and his associate were both dead too, doubtless victims of foul play. How else could two such important dwarves, too busy to expose themselves to danger, and surrounded by the royal guard, both die? The army was also a pitiful joke. A few weak soldiers playing royal guard for a non-existent royalty. I immediately returned them to active duty, but the numbers in Boat Murdered were too small to replenish the army entirely. A fortress had to be made on finding someone to make an example of getting the fortress back to something resembling civilization. All this murder and animal cruelty couldn't go on. A bunch of images. Dwarf is in a fetal position. The dwarf is burning. The goblin is shooting the dwarf. The elephant is screaming. The dwarf is burning. The demon is striking a menacing pose. Good lord. It seemed a tradition to admire the local art, so I dropped by one of the engraved halls. One wall had 6 images attacked depicted in a row. I was so sickened that I didn't bother going into the other halls. Sankis, the artist, was apparently one of the previous rulers of Boat Murdered. To string up a deviant like him, who had once run the place, would send a strong message to the other dwarves. Finally, I have found a way to make the fortress sit up and listen. There's a stack of 3 silver coins. currency is a currency of that. On the front of the coin is registered inside of mandrels, and the coin back is an image of a tentacle demon. Good lord. I don't know who made the money, but it was clearly something wrong with them. Another priority of my stay will be replacing the money with coins that better reflect our glory. That is a terrifying coin. That's like a Cthulhu-based coin. Mystic Mondo, Judas occur. While my room was surprisingly nice, I suspect they were trying to bribe me. Many of the nobles are dissatisfied with their accommodations, while they languish without even a single platinum-encrusted dining room to their name. The corrupt dwarf Sancus has built himself a royal tomb, complete with multiple platinum statues. We'll have to look into having them melted down, and used to make weapon racks for the ruling class. If he stops carving images of dwarves being eaten by elephants, however, I may let him keep his little statuary. Your humble servant, Gigamomo. Shandy posted, I would not be surprised if 90% of the boat murder population have that, don't really care about anything anymore, line in their bios. These guys have been to hell and back, but the human traders are creeped out as hell when they visit. Yeah, when you actually, your dwarves get enough tragedy to them, they become, doesn't care about anything anymore. They become zombies, basically. Not like real zombies, but... Ah, chocolate milk. Magnifico. Why are they staring at me like that? I hate it when they stare at me. What the hell was all with those charred bones we passed on the way here? Relax, Jarthur. Unload the carts. Don't look too closely at the walls, and let's get paid and get the hell out of here. The walls? Why shouldn't? Oh, Armok. Oh, Armok, Christ, what is that? God damn it, I told you not to. Oh, God, shit, look at that effing dog. What the hell happened there? Let's get the hell out of here. Tell them the road's too narrow or something. New unit rules. I don't care. Shite, Jotharo, don't touch that And then they died. Horse? Oh, that's a person. Posted. Hey, Omel, what's up with that dwarf over there? Oh, yeah, apparently he got attacked by an elephant. I thought elephants were peaceful. Not those ones. Apparently they got some demonic possession or something going on. We should really ask those guys to set up a safer road. The last time I mentioned it, I just got a cryptic reply about some kind of final solution involving floodgates and levers. What's that sound? I think someone's murdering a kitten. That can't be. Oh, Christ. Tell me these guys aren't trying to trade us a totem made out of somebody's pet. Tread Dog posted. No, seriously, what the F? Out of the 6 dwarves we've seen so far, 2 are missing limbs, 1's moping around naked. I must have a proper service to work on! 1's sprinting from one end of the depot, while the other's carrying an engraved door. 1's standing in the shop screaming, I must have a proper service to work on! Yeah, and the last one seems to be, I must have a proper service to work on! At all normal, what the F have you, I must have a proper service to work on, gotten us into? I must have a proper service to work on! Shut the hell up! Oh, Burt murdered. Part 45 by Mystic Mongold. We'll finish off his. You must not touch my tomb, jerk, from Sancus. Mystic Mongold posts, don't tell me what to do, I'm the one, this bit in the ground. Take this criminal dog, he thought no one would notice that he had no jobs assigned. He thought no one would notice that he had no jobs assigned? Fortunately, before he managed to starve himself to death, I told him, at crossbow point, that he was going to start taming the fortress's hefty supply of elephants. When that was done, he was to scour the fortress for burnt bits of dwarf left over from the battles with the demons many years ago. A tame elephant should help protect the dwarves from any sudden attacks that may occur. I was quite unhappy to find out my 3 royal rooms were in fact 1 room. I was further angered to find out my bedroom, dining room, study was shared with all of the house representatives. The mayor, the hammerer, almost all of the nobles were crammed into a single room. Confusingly, they didn't seem to mind or notice. Once my initial rage died down, I assigned the remaining homeless nobles to the room. No reason they couldn't crash in my Dolomite couch. Still, I decided to spend some more time making individual housing for at least a few of them. Hammer. Speaking of that Hammer, he spent the year in bed, adjusting the prices of goods so he could pretend he still had an effect on the fortress as a whole. He had apparently taken a goblin crossbow bolt to the foot, and none of the dwarves had bothered to remove it. My prayers go out to him. Oh god, he just sat in bed with a thing in his foot forever. Just changing the prices because he's so pissed off he can't do anything. Should he recover, he'll be able to retain his role as hammerer. A hammerer, of course, doles out hammerings to criminals, one of the harshest practices of dwarven law. The result is almost always a skull split open like a ripe melon, as there are 3 criminals walking free of desperate need of a hammer to the face, including former Commander Megor Grendel. His speedy recovery would set an excellent example to all the dwarves who are considering crime, but valued having a skull. We thought you'd forgotten about you, didn't you, Mr. Grendel? A big hoary buckle. Great Dwarf's match for design image of logs by Sankis. Just logs? I go looking for wood, and all I find is yet more mockery from the criminal mastermind. Apparently all the lumberjacks and carpenters are dead. While I agree wood represents a dangerous weakening of dwarven society, boat murder is in serious need of some bins, and metal ones are difficult to make. Still, none of the workers can be spared. We have precious few haulers as it is, so the fortress goes without it for a while. I can hear Sankis's laughter echoing after me, wherever I go. 30 days in prison, holy crap. As you can see, I grow tired of these foul acts and arrested him on some trumped-up charge or other. After 2 weeks tied to a rotting kobold corpse by a silk rope, the miserable engraver learned some respect. When, and if, he stops flinching whenever I walk past, I'm going to grab the steel hammer and dole a little justice of my own. I don't understand why people don't like elves. They don't like pansy gifts made of bone or leather or wood. They only like trade goods made of stone, or better yet, metal. They're considerably more hardcore than the Mordori of dwarves and boat murdered, myself and Hammer excluded, of course, and their gifts of cloth did much to alleviate the pants shortage we have been suffering from. I gave them very favorable trade conditions and sent them on their way. As organized a party at the Pigtail Rope. I held a theme... His own character held a party. I held a theme party in the jail. The theme was, clean up your act before I hurl you into the chasm. Jovialty was forced, as it should be. One of the dwarves approached me and said that he wanted shells, 2 kinds of ore, 3 kinds of gem, a kind of cut gem, a rock, and some kind of wood. I told him I wanted to not listen to some simpering prima donna bitch about his penacing mittens. Guess who got their way? It went insane. Stark gravy mad. Was burned in lava. Oh, this guy's a jerk. Trading with humans. At least one of my predecessors had his head on straight. Their humans arrived with the previous year's order of roughly 300 units of booze. Another theme party was held in the jail. Once again, I gave them very favorable trading conditions and told them to bring the same next year, along with maybe some more animals. Nothing has happened to the miasma. That is a lot of miasma. Another dwarf actually completed his project and gained legendary skill in engraving. God damn it. We already have 2 legendary grade vandals. Don't need a third sketching pictures of demon laughing and mandrels on the wall. He was immediately put to use hauling. Razor the Seatness of Butchers. It's a Genesis amulet. Dog and Nifflin Genesis. The Genesis is striking down the dog. Goblin and Dwarf and Brass. The Dwarf is shooting the Goblin. Dwarf and Manual. The Mandrill striking down the Dwarf. The Animal Cage Trap and Turtle Shell. What an odd selection of images. Once winter rolled around, I tried to activate the elephant pump the previous ruler had set up. A series of steel bridges now cross the lava flow at several points, so you should be able to leave on it now. Also, having lava back there keeps all the elephants from using it as a personal playground. And so the rich galena and platinum deposits behind the channel are now within reach. Sadly, the elephant, once released, simply left the pump without triggering the floor switches. I have serious doubts as to the ability of the series of 1x1 bridges to block anything. Maybe taming the elephant before releasing it was a bad idea. The pump chamber is all ready to go. After taking this image, I added access routes to it, so if anyone wishes to simply tear out the bridges and plate of the elephant pump to start over fresh, they won't even have to shut off the lava. Also, I'd strongly suggest replacing the bridges with larger 3x3 open left modules, of course to block the elephant's passage. There's always lava. There's constantly active channel not too far away. The year passed without military note. Good, because we also lack a military. And without the hammer recovering, the fortress received no immigrants this year, had no births, and lost a few dwarves to war injuries or fey moods. However, huge swaths of metal had been mined out. Many metal goods were made, a few encrusted with jewels. The nobles were satisfied. All the legendary craft stores were armed and armored. An engraving superhighway was added that
goes almost all the way through the mountain. Overall, boat murder now looks much more attractive to immigrants, which is good, because after all the terrible death, it's going to be hard to get immigrants to come at all. The elephants were peaceful, as all herbivores are. The mandrills would occasionally grab a piece of equipment left to rust by the two goblin armies. I suspect the challenge they pose is exaggerated by the previous rulers. When the new ruler arrives, sometime in the spring, I shall retire as judicator, acting as the merciful hand of law, and merely throwing randomly selected dwarves in jail for no good reason. Maybe I should get this guy as like, the law? I am the law. The mandrills. Bleh. It's a hard job. I wouldn't trade it for any other in the world. Well, except maybe Hammerer. Oh, and whoever filled the chasm with lava, well, technically impressive. It leaves soldiers without a good place to train. Next game, you might consider simply pouring refuse in with a bucket and leveling up on what comes clawing out. So what they did is he's talking about this chasm was filled with lava, so no monsters would come out. But that, again, also diminishes the capability of you to train on the monsters that come out of there. All right. Turnpike Lad Potion. God, this game is fascinating. The dwarves at Boatmurdered have gone through some crazy shite. I was exploring through the Fortress Adventure mode. I found this lovely produced rendition of Genus amulet in the tomb that was lying on the floor. It looks similar to the amulet mentioned earlier in this thread. Wow, look at that thing. That's pretty metal. Mr. Mama posted, that would be race usually the sweetness of butchers, made by Boatmurder's third legendary engraver, as if we needed to. Alright, not gonna post tonight, but some shite actually happened. I've started a clever way to punish Mystic Mongo. Oh no, Sankus, the guy he was punishing all last round. Sort of clever way to punish Mystic Mongo for his crimes. Get it working, I'll post pictures of the night ends. Current the summer, turn brown, Mystic Mongo gets his comeuppance. Oh no, my plan worked perfectly. And that is what we will have to expect in the next one. We're going to stop it off here at Sankus's run in Season 2 of Boatmurdered. I hope you all enjoyed my live reading. If you did like it, feel free to leave a comment, even on the VOD. I'd be happy to hear about your suggestions for comments, whether or not you liked it, whether or not you want to see something different next time. Suggestions even for the next story we should read, otherwise I can pick something out. And I can make this a regular story time on whatever day I can. And I will not be seeing you all tomorrow. I actually am going to be spending that time with my wife because it is our anniversary. And unfortunately, I will not be able to stream for about a week. I will be off because I'll be taking a very long road trip with my wife and we'll be traveling across the states. So you won't see any more from me, but I will be active in my Discord and all those other places. You just won't see any streams. So stay tight. Hold on to your butts. I love you all. And I'll see you all in the next one. Let's check out Dwarf Fortress streamers we can raid. And then call it for today. By the way, if you like what you saw, feel free to give me a follow. It helps me out a lot. Also, feel free to share my stream around. That also helps. And feel free to join my Discord. Alright, let's see what we got for Dwarf Fortress. I really hate... Damn it. There's like a weird bug where I can't see the streams on my thing. They're all like tiny. Hold on, I'll use my phone. And we'll check out who we can raid and make the night of. Doo-doo. Dwarf Fortress. Let's see here. There's a lot of people streaming tonight. Holy buckets. Who do we want to raid tonight? If there's any suggestions, feel free to shout out in the chat. If you want to start up Dwarf Fortress yourself, feel free. Alright, what is this? There's me. And then there's the one that's not a person streaming. Alright, who be this? Ah, ad. Shite. Oh good, it's dead. One moment. They aren't saying anything. I guess we could just raid our Milo Assailant. He's a pretty good Dwarf Fortress streamer. Let's give it a whirl, my friends. Exilocient. God, that's a complicated ass name. Alright, did I do the right one? Yes! Alright. Feel free to join in the raid. It's a zesty raid. Enjoy the Dwarf Fortress shenanigans, and I will see you all later on next week. Probably after Sunday has passed. So take care, everyone. Stay zesty, and I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Bye!